Good afternoon, my friends. Lovely to have you back. Now, we do know what Monster Nest does now in Homecoming, and we can make some solid deductions from this, and that's what I want to do here. I want to tell you what Monster Nest does, in case you don't know, and do some really decent deductions on the mechanics of Homecoming, or the lack thereof. And I really want to flex my muscles in content creation, throw a new format at you, and see if you like it. Okay, so we're going to go a bit into speculatory on how useful this card will be, but there's a lot of mechanics and a lot of cards that we don't know of, so that's just there to show you, what kind of video this could be, and down the line whether you like this style for certain cards. So please do give me feedback on this. So Monster Nest is a special card for monsters. It seems to be bronze due to the value that it will achieve. Provision cost we don't know, and this is going to be quite important. So provision cost is a secondary balancing mechanic, so we may get a card which costs too much and therefore its worth in decks goes down. So this is a really interesting thing which in the future I'd really like to talk about quite a lot. So we don't know about its provision cost, so can't really comment upon that right now. But it's a special card which spawns 4 Arachas with 1 value on a random row. So it's 4 1-strength bodies. So they do nothing when they go onto the board. It spawns all 4 onto a random row, and that's less than average value. If we take the bronze value for being 5, less than average. So the main purpose of this is obviously for synergy purposes. The first obvious synergy that everyone probably understands is swarm potential. It creates a lot of low strength units on the board, okay? And it's bronze, so you can have 2 of these. I think it's confirmed that Triss Telekinesis is identical. She's a card which is still remaining to what she does now. So you can be able to play a 3rd copy of this if you desire. Now, the negative about this is that the row limit is still 9 units per row, last we heard. And it's the rumour of Homecoming stacking tokens on top of each other seems to be debunked. Because in the video of Luigi and Pavel, we saw 2 1-strength Arachas on the board that must have come from Monster Nest. And they were not stacked. Now, there's obviously a very tiny chance that you have to get 3 or more units on the board before they stack, but I don't think this is true. So that rumour of stacking tokens seems to be debunked at the minute, in which case the row limit is a serious concern that you have to consider when playing this card. Okay, obviously you want to play the card, then start consuming it or destroying them before you start playing too many. Shouldn't be too difficult to avoid. The next synergy is obviously the consume synergy this provides. It provides targets for consumption. I've played consume before in the current Gwent, where you don't have enough targets to consume, so you have to start consuming things, and all your strength gets consolidated into one big thing, and then that gets mandraked or scorched, and you lose. So provides a lot of targets, which can be good. I do really think that consuming these for consuming's sake is not really worth the value. You could instead consume like a Death Wish unit and activate it at the same time. We've actually seen some cards in the game which would benefit with this card. For example, we've got the Archgriffin, consume an ally on the row or else destroy this unit. So you want to obviously destroy the lowest unit possible, which is a 1, to get this higher than average value bronze of an Archgriffin. But like I said, if you actually consume this, what do you get? You get a 7-strength Archgriffin plus the 3 extra ones that you've saved up of the Monster Nest. So it's not that good. Consuming a Death Wish would actually still be better, most likely. But you actually want a secondary benefit to actually consuming these little Spidey boys. And that's going to be in the form of current neckers or something that kind of works similar, where every time you consume something, they get stronger. The Rot Fiend here in the bottom middle is a good example of this. Whenever another unit dies, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. So this is a secondary benefit to destroying this small card. Okay, so it's minimal consumption, but you get a secondary benefit. And there may be multiple secondary benefits you can provide. So, and lastly, synergy-wise, it's buffing. So you provide 4 bodies very quickly onto the board. They're going to be insectoids. So buffing insectoids is very worthwhile. Something like Ruhin in the current version. Or if you buff the lowest units on your side, all of them, like Triss Butterfly does at the minute, also very useful. And you also get easy access to value on certain buffs, like buffing an entire row, buffing adjacent units very easily, like Commander's Horn, or buffing the entire board, like Yennefer does currently. You place a lot of these on the board and then buff everything by 2. You should hopefully be gaining quite tremendous value from that. So you've got a variety of possible synergies with this card, but I feel like you have to back this card up. This is a setup card, I would feel, and for that reason, we have to really wait and see what other cards are before we can make a good judgment on this. But I imagine its provision cost is quite low because it's going to be a setup card, is what I predict. But this is really all I've got to say about this card. Tell me what you thought of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.